Hello out there in cryptocurrency land. Welcome back to Real Crypto, where we take the market one leg at a time while keeping the market cycle in mind. The market cycle is still bearish, and that last leg was an upside move. Surprising me, I did not expect it to move up. As a matter of fact, I was headed to a kid's birthday party when that happened, so I was unable to participate in that rally. But if we look at the rally, it's not much of a change in behavior from what we've seen in the recent past. So I know there's a lot of people out there feeling super bullish right now. But guys, we're still below $6,800. This, in my opinion, right now is kind of the line in the sand for Bitcoin. If we get above 6,800, I think that you do have to get long this market. Personally, I will be taking a long position. It will not be a full position because I do not think that this will be this is the end of the bottom of Bitcoin. I don't believe we bottomed right here. This doesn't look abnormal. This doesn't look abnormal. This rally doesn't look abnormal. As a matter of fact, we still have declining volume going all the way back here. You can see on the GDAX right now, this volume pop wasn't extraordinarily aggressive. Let's go ahead and look at some of the other exchanges and kind of see if it's life-changing volume here on Bittrex. Not really such life-changing volume, still respecting 6,800 and showing some selling right now actually on Bittrex. Looking at BitMEX, we had a little poke above 6,800, as did a couple other exchanges, but nothing tremendous right now, and I'm not sure there's a volume problem with BitMEX, so it's hard to really ascertain what that is off of this chart. Let's look at Bitstamp. Bitstamp volume here, kind of the same, in line with the last pop in Bitcoin. Nothing too crazy there. And if you notice, pretty much all of these charts have this kind of rounding action to it. It's not really a bull flag. It's just a rounding, basically meaning that you know, the purchasing power is waning a little bit here. And then if we look at Bitfinex, let's go to Bitfinex Bitcoin US dollar. You can see there the volume also not super crazy, still a little bit lower than this volume here on the last pop. So here's the four big pops, and this one's here having the lowest volume of all of them. And back to my trusty Binance, sorry. Go ahead and get Binance if I can find it there. BTC, USD, here's me USD, BTC. There we go. And oh, that's TUSD. Anyway, Binance isn't going to look a whole heck of a lot different. So as you can see there, the general Bitcoin market, while yes, I thought this particular symmetrical triangle would break to the downside, I was kind of looking for a fulfillment of this right shoulder for the potential inverted head and shoulders pattern. I'm not quite sure that we're going to get it, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But what this could mean without a shoulder here implies that we did not give sellers a chance to fully load up, and we also did not give the weak holders a chance to sell, which usually can thrust us up over a line such as the 6,800 level. Basically what this implies is that there's no one participating in the market, and we're continually floating higher on low volume. Even on the daily chart, nothing looks out of the ordinary. We can take a peek here at the daily chart. All right, well, we did have kind of a nice green candle yesterday. Look at the volume. Look at the volume on that. Not very aggressive whatsoever. As a matter of fact, this is a little bit higher than this low volume handle here before we actually had a big move to the downside. So when we're in these low volume situations, we are probably going to move in one direction or another. Now, being so close to 6,800, that being my line in the sand, I'm still neutral as I was kind of back here, although I was leaning bearish here. Living up here, I'm probably leaning a little more bullish, but you know, again, I'm gonna be ready to go in one direction or the other. But here's the thing, guys: you don't want to get arbitrarily long Bitcoin because you think something might happen, because you think we may go higher, or you think we may go lower. Okay, those types of thoughts can get you in trouble because the market doesn't care what you think. The market's going to do what it's going to do, and odds are it's going to do the opposite of what you think it's going to do. And that's kind of how the markets work as well. So right now we had you know, a lower low here, kind of a not really a higher high. This is basically a kind of a continuation move to the upside there. You can call this a bull flag if you want to, although I do think it's malformed with this big sell-off here from 6,800. but even that didn't have a tremendous amount of volume. So the price is just floating higher. And every time in recent history that we've seen price float higher, it preceded a sell-off. So we may get something similar here. We may flounder around the 6,800 level for a day or two. Because keep in mind, guys, ever since we've been popping, I'm going to go back down to the 2-hour chart. Ever since we popped here, we had two days until the next pop. 2 days until the next pop, and about a day and a half before it rolled over. And this one actually took a little bit longer. It took 3 days until the next pop. We did try to roll over here a little bit. There was some accumulation, but no one really got shaken out by that move. So I would anticipate more of the same from here. This is not a change in behavior. This is more of the same behavior. Very similar to what I said here, and I believe I said something similar here. And yes, we've been going higher. Look, if you've been listening to me and you missed out on, since the 66, missed out on your $170 worth of gains there, you can go ahead and blame me for that one. But, yeah, nothing's changed here, guys. We're at $6,700. What to you screams healthy market at $6,700? Nothing to me. I mean, nothing really to me screams super healthy market. And with this type of action and volume, I'm definitely not getting heavily involved in Bitcoin. Perfectly happy with my mostly all cash position and trading leverage shorts when the opportunity presents itself. And even most recently, that's been difficult to do, obviously due to the fact that we've been in this little bullish uptrend here. But more of the same, guys. 6,800 still intact. Not a lot going on. So I wouldn't get super bullish. I wouldn't get super bearish. Keep your keep an even keel in these markets, guys. Whether you're bullish or bearish, okay? Just keep an even keel, because anyone can take you out at any moment with a move. That's what these BART moves are all about, is shaking people out, and of all positions, longs and shorts. I think there's a good amount of traders in here doing some good work, making some good money, and the rest of everyone is taking small losses the entire time and handing the money to those people. So yeah, basically it's kind of like a no trade area under this 6,800 level. Now, I do want to point one thing out to you, this inverted head and shoulders right here, pattern that plays out. I do want to remind you of a similar inverted head and shoulders that we had, albeit on a smaller time scale. You can see the two head and shoulders. So here's the one. I don't quite remember where those lines went, but so here's a much larger head and shoulders, and here's a much smaller head and shoulders. And this smaller head and shoulders actually broke out. We actually broke out of the smaller head and shoulders. We caught this in the power hour. We caught it live. We traded it live. Unfortunately, the power hour ended and we couldn't stay streaming for 16 hours. But the market rolled over immediately. We had to basically get out at a break-even point, and that's trading, guys. You take the signals given to you. You go with the movement. Good volume on the breakout. It wasn't, exponentially better volume than recent history, but it was good volume, so you do go with it. And we did, and we got stopped out, and that's trading. And, something else may happen over here. We may get something very similar, where out of this larger head and shoulders, maybe we pop out here to, we've discussed the 71, 7,200 level here recently as a target from some various technical points. And maybe that runs us into this trend line that, that we had going back. And maybe we run up here, maybe, like we said earlier, I think a few videos ago I mentioned, out of this inverted head and shoulders, we could get up past 76. But, maybe we bounce out a little bit and then roll back over again. That would not be out of the ordinary. In bear markets, bases fail constantly, even a reversal such as this inverted head and shoulders pattern. Even though it doesn't quite have a well-defined right-hand shoulder, you could still argue that the right-hand shoulder is in. But, getting over 68, I do think you still get involved in the market, and you let the market take you out, because this is a reversal pattern. And it could end up being a bottom. I know we don't have capitulation. There's a lot of people out there, especially that have been watching my channel, looking for capitulation. But, hey, there's every chance in the world we don't get it. So when we have these reversal opportunities, I think you take them. I think you take them. You keep your trader mindset. However, I don't think this is hodl time. I think this is trading time. You trade this to the upside, see where the market takes you, and if it takes you higher, faster, then you're in, and that's fantastic. If it rolls over and goes lower, then maybe you get stopped out at a break-even point again. But, the same thing as the last video, guys. The 6,800 level is the line in the sand. I know some guys came in my video to kind of chastise me a little bit because it popped. All right, I'll take that. I did say I thought it was going to fail, so, you know what? No trader's perfect. No one's perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. And yeah, keep an eye on 6,800, guys. Look for the volume. Volume is really going to be key here. And that's trading, guys. So nice pop, Bitcoin. Good job. I'll catch you in the next one.